Hello and welcome to this fresh edition of Off the Cuff or OTC. And I have zero hesitation in boasting, even before we have started the conversation, that this is going to be a most brilliant edition of Off the Cuff. And why do I say that? Because my guest is so brilliant. Rishi Kapoor.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. And you're overestimating me. I don't want to, be a shortfall in any event with anybody. आपको ज़्यादा ही बोल रहे हैं मेरे बारे में. ऐसा मत कीजिएगा.
नहीं वो इसलिए कि आपका not only are you talented, but you're not growing up by the year. You're getting younger by the year, at least in your head.
Thank you. चलिए कहीं तो हम छोटे हो रहे हैं.
हाँ बिल्कुल. That reminds me of something he wrote not long ago. He said, obesity doesn't run in the Kapoor family.
Yeah.
Nobody runs in the Kapoor family.
Well, that's, a fact and nothing to be proud about. I don't know why. I don't know why. Actually, it's a पुराना joke है, उसको मैंने तोड़ फोड़ के अपना कपूर family डाल के लिया है. Because I normally like to, be the butt of the joke myself. Either I make it one of my family members or myself. So that was the actual intention.
But were you being one of them in the film also, Kapoor and Sons?
Was I? I was in the film.
No, I know that. But were you being a Kapoor from your family in the film?
Strangely, a lot of people said that I looked like my maternal uncle Prem Nath. I did not look like any of the Kapoors. But
he used to be the bad guy usually.
Well, what made you think I'm a good guy?
No, but at least you play the good guy in the film always.
No, I don't think you've seen pretty much films of mine.
I'm not saying Prem Nath was a bad guy in real life.
Okay. Yeah, no, well, I played the good guy.
I remember him from Johnny Mera Naam, that's all. We are scarred.
Yeah. So, people said that I would look like Prem Nath, and I said, so what? It's all in the family anyway. मेरे पास ऐसे रिश्तेदार हैं मैं आपके कहूँ कि at some platform the other I always say that आप हमको वही आशीर्वाद दीजिए जो आपने मेरे दादाजी को दिया था पृथ्वीराज कपूर. Then I go on to say the same thing about my father Raj Kapoor, uncles Shami Kapoor, Shashi Kapoor. I said उस साइड के uncle प्रेम नाथ, राजेंद्र नाथ, धनेंद्र नाथ. मैंने कहा एक मेरा मासड़ भी है प्रेम चोपड़ा. I said then I say मेरे भाई हैं रणधीर कपूर, राजीव कपूर. अब तो मेरी दो nieces भी हैं करिश्मा कपूर, करीना कपूर. अब मेरा बेटा भी है रणबीर कपूर. तो I used to always say and rattle all these names on platforms. So by God's grace, it's just. We've been very fortunate because of the love and affection and प्यार मोहब्बत जो उन्होंने हमको दिया है, आशीर्वाद दिया है. हम उन्हीं के वजह से बस खिदमत कर रहे हैं.
Now getting more complicated because there are many others who are not Kapoors who have to say I'm not from the Kapoor family.
Too bad. I might just about add, not to sound pompous, but our family has been doing cinema for the last 87 years, and that was probably 102 years of, Urmila would tell us more, of Indian cinema. The Kapoor family का योगदान 87 को क्या बोलते हैं भाई? 87 साल का है. 86 तक मुझे याद था, अब एक साल बढ़ गया है. तो 87 I did not.
अब अगले साल का भी बताया था 88 होता है.
वो जब अगले साल आएगी सर अब तब बोलेंगे आपको. But no, seriously, we are very proud of the fact, at least this generation, that over the generations we have served the people. And I think, with all modesty, just state that we are in the fourth male generation into films. Male generation. So it's like from Prithviraj Kapoor, Raj Kapoor, Rishi Kapoor, now Ranveer Kapoor. 4 generations have been serving the industry. So it makes us feel very proud. At least by living time, I feel very proud of that fact.
So Rishi, what motivated you to get into public debate? Because your film stars never do it. Your film stars are always goody-goody. You stay out of everything. आपने पंगे लेने शुरू करे हैं.
पंगे नहीं यार. This is wrong thinking. I have lots to explain. I did. It's just something that is in my heart. I say it out here. लोग कहते हैं I get a lot of beating from my wife. तुम ज़्यादा ही मुँह खोलते हो. ऐसे पहले खोता था तुम पीटती थी, अब बाहर में कहीं और करता हूँ तो दुनिया पीटती है मुझे. तो I said to them, it's just like जो मेरे मन में है, दिल में वो बात है. I try my best not to hurt anybody. I only felt that I just wanted to make a point, and that's all. Nothing more than that.
So beef, what got you upset over beef?
I'll tell you. I personally feel that India we don't really market beef. We don't really rear beef to be eaten. वो तो हमारी गांव में आता है. I think the whole thing was mistaken because of this buffalo meat and the cow meat. So that was it. I just felt that is got misconstrued in making other points as well.
Moving on, Rishi, once again, in your cinema industry, popular culture by and large, but also specifically in cinema industry, because you are such big stars, biggest, next come the cricketers. Why do people not speak out? Why don't they join public debates? For example, this Urta Punjab censorship. Very few of the senior stars spoke out on this. किसका खौफ है?
ये खौफ नहीं है. ऐसा है कि जिसकी बकरी बलि चढ़ती है उसके जितने लोग हैं वही बात करते हैं. यानी कि if a film has a certain amount of people involved in it, those people actually voice it. Some of the other, I have not really understood why people don't voice. They should say the truth of the matter, but not the fact that, Urta Punjab doesn't actually concern me. But the fact remains that if the censor laws are a little archaic and they're, old-fashioned, they should be, kind of looked at. So that is my point of view. Baki, I don't want to debate, or I don't want to challenge there's a government has put in a principal body there. He's got the right to say anything. But this is debatable because, changes since the 1952 Cinematographer Act. उस वक्त का चला ही आ रहा है. दुनिया बदल गई है, जनरेशन बदल गए, हालात बदल गए. 1952 is the year when I was born. Until 2016, you're still living by those laws.
So, Rishi, once again, why did some of the senior stars not speak out? They remained silent. Let me not name them. Is it because, are they then shaken by the kind of experience Aamir Khan had when he spoke out?
Could be. I can't speak for everybody. Nowadays, कोई आदमी कुछ भी बोले, any kind of a no ball, and you get caught behind the wickets. The whole media climbs on you, the whole world climbs on you. So don't think, I have come also very well prepared to talk to you here. By the way. Because यहाँ कुछ भी आप गलत कहें, they take you to task. Earlier people did matter who really fought for it. I remember my dad's time when we used to take our grievances to Madam Gandhi here, and the whole film body used to come. Dilip Saab, Mr. Sunil Dutt, Devanand, Raj Kapoor, V. Shantaram, Mehboob Khan, people who mattered. They went and, we hua kuch nahi. The government never actually helped us in our matter. But whatever, they at least were united to stand by. Aaj ki tarikh mein, there are a lot of grievances, but for some reason or the other, there is no unity in voice or whatever.
All of us were teenagers when Bobby came out, and it became such a hit in Haryana as elsewhere. So I asked lots of my classmates कि इसमें खास बात क्या है. So one of them said कि जी आज तक हिंदी फिल्मों में हीरोइन ऐसे हग करती थी, इसमें डिम्पल पहली बार ऐसे हग कर रही है.
ये लीजिए.
है ना?
क्या theory है वो? How much of research that man must have done? कौन सी कैसे research करती है?
So Rishi, tell us what's the dining table talk in your home when all of you are together?
When Dad was alive with Mummy, when we used to sit down, every 2 minutes my father was always fighting. रोटियां बंद करो, इतनी क्यों ले आ रहे हो? And my mother used to always saying, you make your films, I do not interfere in your budgets of your film, so you don't interfere in my budgets of ours. There was a constant fight. And, like, एक अच्छी बात यह है कि we never bought our work at home. When I became an actor, courtesy Raj Kapoor, my father, my guru, everything, thank you. There was never a moment, if I wanted, people asked me, where did you learn acting, or did you go to a school, any kind of a institution? I said, Kapoor Institution, जो हमारे घर में उससे बड़ा क्या हो सकता है जो बाहर आके मुझे तालीम मिलेगी? मुझे तालीम तो अपने घर से ही, घर के लोगों से मिलेगी. तो never have I or never did my father behave like he was my secretary or he would choose the subject I did or whatever. He said, I have given this boy a break and now he is on his own. वो खुद गिरेगा, खुद उठेगा, खुद संभलेगा, पता लगेगा कि जिंदगी कैसी है. इसे मैं बाप हूँ, मैं सेक्रेटरी नहीं हूँ तुम्हारा. I have continued with that with my son. I know the whole film industry. I've worked with most of them. Everybody calls them and I have to say the same thing to them. I said, मैं उसका बाप हूँ, मैं उनका सेक्रेटरी नहीं हूँ. You go and talk to him. He's got to make his own decisions. If I was in his place, I would have never ever let him do a film like Barfi. Are you mad? You think Barfi? Sir, बोल नहीं सकता, सुन नहीं सकता, कौन देखेगा picture? I would never let him do a film like Wake Up Sid or a rock star or a rocket sing. Never ever would I have done. I said, you mad? So I've left him his own, decisions. Coming back to
what... And those are some of his best roles, actually.
That is why I mentioned. That's what I said. No, so to speak, I was saying that we don't carry our work home and we don't discuss our work. कभी रणबीर ने एक बार से मुझसे पूछा, I'm very uncomfortable singing songs, Papa. I said, कमाल है, राज कपूर का बेटा, राज कपूर का पोता और ऋषि कपूर का बेटा और गाने में तकलीफ.
He said to me also on Walk the Talk, he said, I'll never do lip sync.
But then he asked me once, he was shooting for Rockstars. Yes, I remember Rockstar, and he called me on the telephone. He said, I'm finding very difficult to lip sync. What do I do? So I said, कुछ भी हो जाए बेटा. First, you must know at what pitch the singer has sung the song, and try and match it. जितने बेसुरे हो तुम, उसको match करो. जब तक तुम्हारी वो नसें यानी फूलें, it'll never, you cannot pass that. You can't pass the muster. I said, मैंने इतने गाने गाए हैं, and I should, sing in a high pitch. Heroine यहाँ पढ़ती थी. After the shot, she said, "Yeah, please help, God, मैं रहम करो मेरे पे." एक बार गाने की रिकॉर्डिंग पिक्चर चल रही थी, तो शॉट चालू हुआ. I was in between shouting. Suddenly the sound, कोई वायर कट गई. Somebody walked over. Suddenly the sound went off, and I went.
My question is, what is the comparison when Ranbir told you he wanted to go into films, and when you told your dad you wanted to go into films? What was the reaction? Like, how do you compare the reactions?
Good question. First, mine. Dining table scene, take 2. My father, my mother, myself, we were having dinner one night, and my father said to my mother, Krishna, my mother's name, Krishna, मैं फिल्म जोकर बना रहा हूँ और उसमें मैं चाहता हूँ कि चिंटू is my pet name, चिंटू को मैं वो अपने बचपन का रोल उसको मैं दूँ. अब कट टू यहाँ क्लोज अप, खाना तो सडनली ये क्या हुआ कि where is this coming from? So my mother said, as long as it doesn't get onto his education, school, he doesn't miss. I don't think there's anything wrong. You sure can. मैं खाना वाना खा के didn't display any emotion to my parents. हाथ धो के, I just excused myself, went to my room, and there on my study table, opened a drawer and took out a foolscap sheet and started practicing my autograph there. Please, started autograph there and then. Yeah, I'm not going to be an actor. So that is that kind of stuff.
But now you also have to be very careful about what you say. I mean, would someone have got away saying what Salman Khan did the other day in the past?
See, I don't think he meant it, to be very honest.
But it was a news comment.
Well, I don't think, first of all, he meant it. I'm sure. Yeah. There are times when you're narrating something. मैं आपको एक मिसाल के तौर पर बात बताता हूँ कि एक वक्त था जब दारा सिंह was used to make films. You call the tough man everything. तो street language बोलता क्यों रे अपने आप को बड़ा दारा सिंह समझता है. एक होता था. So in our local vocabulary or language, मैं मानता हूँ गलत बात है. We say sometimes, I'm raped.
वो तो स्कूल में
होता है. Like, you say you're stressed or you say you're spaced out. Doesn't mean you're gone to space. Or you're screwed. Doesn't mean you're screwed. It's that kind of thing. You didn't mean it. It's like the analogy, बोलिए या simile जो दे रहा था. I'm quite sure he didn't mean it.
It was an improper simile.
Well, yes, I would say improper at the wrong time also. But I'm sure he didn't mean it. I'm sure.
But should he say sorry? And be done?
Well, if he has done something that has hurt, I think he should, yes.
Because
Hasn't he?
his father
Hasn't
is
he?
saying sorry, but he isn't.
I don't know about that, but I'm sure he would. Why would he not? I mean, sometimes if you hurt somebody's sentiment, I would say sorry. I mean, there's nothing wrong. अगर आपने गलती की तो उसको कबूल मार लीजिए. ये थोड़ी कि everybody is right all the time. You could be wrong also. I've always felt कि आप जितना भी किसी एक्टर के बच्चे को आप बोल दो बिजनेस मैनेजमेंट सीख ले, इंजीनियरिंग सीख ले, डॉक्टर बना ले, लॉयर बना ले, ultimately that kid is going to try his hand at films. Because that is where he grew up in the atmosphere. I said this to very many friends of mine. I've seen, I've never did say it also, but you know, I've seen. तो मुझे ये पता था कि जब रणबीर या रिधिमा, my daughter, but she never wanted to. But when my son wanted to, I said, yes, you must go and get trained in films only. Because आप करेंगे कुछ, लेकिन बनेंगे तो आप कुछ और. ये एक इनसिक्योरिटी होती कि नहीं यार फिल्म वाले की जिंदगी इनसिक्योर नहीं होती. If you fail, if you flop, you have nothing to fall back on. तो ये हिसाब ये है कि अगर कोई भी बच्चा एक्टर या एक्ट्रेस नहीं बनी तो अल्टीमेटली यू विल बी पार्ट ऑफ द फिल्म इंडस्ट्री इधर इन द कैपेसिटी ऑफ अ डायरेक्टर, प्रोड्यूसर, एडिटर और समथिंग और द अदर. यू विल बिलोंग टू वन फैसेट ऑफ द फिल्म इंडस्ट्री.
Let me ask you a trick question before Amitabh comes in. Did you discuss your father's romances with him, or do you discuss your son's romances with him?
Why would I not discuss my romances with him?
That too.
Why my father's romances, his romances? See, this is why I say, if you go onto my Twitter, I say son of a famous father, father of a famous son. Sir, मैं तो हाइफन हूँ, मेरी तो कदर ही नहीं करती. आप भी कदर नहीं करते.
नहीं, आप
बाप के रोमांस पूछोगे, बेटे के रोमांस पूछोगे, हम क्या मर गए क्या?
नहीं, आपके रोमांस तो हम पूछेंगे ना.
तो आप पूछ रहे भली महफिल में और आप क्या समझ रहे बताऊंगा.
तो इसीलिए बाप की और बेटे की बताइए, कभी बात होती है.
He knows, these kids know everything. They are all informed, they are well informed. These are, बस ये है कि हमारी इज्जत करते हैं, बस that is more than enough. बस we can't do nothing else. Like I said to earlier, I'm not his secretary, I'm his father.
खबर आपको बॉम्बे टाइम से मिलती है.
ये खबर तो हमें बहुत जगहों से मिलती है, ऐसे थोड़े कि बॉम्बे टाइम से मिलती है.
In your tweets, you come across as a very young, vibrant, 19-year young gentleman.
Do I not look like that?
Oh, you look, you look about 15. Don't worry.
No, I like you.
And
He's only got baby fat on him.
I like you.
yeah, and, you know, we've all grown up college days watching your romance with Dimple Kapadia and Bobby, but suddenly you tweeted that your ambition was to romance with Madhubala.
Correct.
So,
Absolutely.
what excited you about Madhubala?
Nothing excited me. I just think that she's a very beautiful woman, a very talented woman. I think she's one of the prettiest actresses ever to come across on the Indian screen. I don't think she actually has been given her due, and this generation must know about her.
You can tell your experiences with some directors.
Yes, I could go on and on. I'm ready to study a whole night. I mean, I've been very fortunate. I've enjoyed working with my own father, Raj Kapoor. I made 3 films with him. All 3 films are supposed to be today even recognized films, as in Mera Naam Joker, Bobby, and Prem Rog. I worked in 3 films and I'm very fortunate about it. After Nargis ji, I think I'm the only one who's worked maximum with him in 3 films.
It's a very loaded comment.
And another one, sir. I even played a small role in that Shri Char Sufis in that song, which I walked from there. And that was, I was actually black. I was, what do you say? मुझे उन्होंने क्या कहते हैं, what's the right word? घूस देके मुझे रिश्वत देके चॉकलेट का they gave me, and that is when I did the shot. Otherwise, I refused to open my eyes and I was crying to do the shot. So I threw star tantrums at the age of 2.
Satish?
Oh, first of all, compliments on behalf of the Kapoor family. As a part of Kapoor family, you've been entertaining for 87 out of 108 years. That's amazing. And you have personally contributed 50%.
No, I'm not 87 years old.
50%.
I'm not 87 years old.
50% of 87 you have contributed.
Just in case you wrong.
My question is, you did mention that the movie making is also business. We get it. Can you tell one solid difference between movies and business? What is that which is different?
In which business do you make 100 crores in the first 3 days? Which business do you lose 100 crores in the first 3 days? In which business? Because our business is only subjected today, nowadays. Only the first 3 days is the film's opening. Because the fourth day, the DVD is out, there's piracy, there's all kinds of,
लीक हो जाता है आजकल तो इंटरनेट के ऊपर.
हर जगह, Urta Punjab came on the internet via torrent 2 days earlier or 1 day earlier. So that is why they say there's no business like show business. Ya aar ya par, ye wali baat hai. Like, the great Carlo Ponti said, if any man could know the formula of growing hair on a bald head and the formula to make a successful film, would be the richest man in the world. You just don't know.
Hello, Rishi. I'm
Hi.
Mahima.
Hello,
My
Mahima.
sister and I have broken many sofas trying to copy your signature move of falling on the knees on the kavalis and all your famous songs. But I have two very simple questions for you. One is, out of all the movies you've acted in, which is your favorite? And the second one is, how do you and Neetu keep the romance alive after all these years?
See, I've got 5 fingers. They're all mine. I do not know which is my better finger. So I can't say which is my best film. Okay? I choose all the films which I worked in with a sane mind. Nobody put a pistol on my temple. But I made some bad films, some very bad films, and some very, very bad films. Okay. Now, as far as romance is concerned, well, it's not the romance. It's just that we respect each other. Don't think we don't fight. We fight also. We're regular people like any couple. We have our differences. We have whatever. But there is a bond. There's a love association. Our children are there. And we live by that. We live day by day. And God has been kind that, what has it been? 36 years now that we've been married. So it's been quite a while. And I knew Neetu 7 years before that because I worked for that long. So it's a long time. And just to say that the sofas that you broke, I'm sorry, you can't mend them. On the serious note, I can't mend those sofas.
Rishi, I'll just add, when kids used to be playing Ghar Ghar in the 70s, we were playing Dafli Wale and Om Shanti Om. And now our kids drag their grandparents to see Kapoor and Sons. So thank you so much. 3 generations.
Generation after generation.
Absolutely.
Thank you
so much.
I've tried to, in my own small way, whenever and whichever way I can, I've tried to reinvent myself at this age also. I've tried my hand at doing serious films. I've tried to come, I could never look like a common man. They always said I was a man. The people in South Africa used to call me the Jersey man because I used to wear a lot of sweaters and everything in films. But Yash Chopra gave me the best compliment. One day I was in Moscow and he called me up and I thought he may have called up to say something about his film with Ranbir. And he said, I just couldn't believe the film which I've seen, or Punjabi mein, how he spoke to me and he abused me and this, that, whatever. He had just seen Do Duni Char. And for him, he could not believe that I could pass off as a common Punjabi man from Delhi, which I played the role in. So I'm coming to it that I've tried to reinvent myself by playing a baddie. If I did that in an Agnipath, or if I did a D-Day, or I did a Aurangzeb as a baddie, or I did let's say, Luck by Chance, which is a comic role, or a social film, or Patiala Punjab, Patiala House, or let's say recently Kapoor and Sons. I played a 90-year-old man. I have no qualms about playing over my age or anything.
Good evening, Rishi. I'm Anil Nair.
Hi.
In your illustrious career in films, there may have been several instances.
I'll just interrupt him. You hear his voice on Republic Day.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
He's the one who tells you what's happening.
Thank you very much. Very kind of you, sir. Like I was mentioning, in your illustrious career in films, there must have been several instances wherein you've had to enact a role which goes against your basic self. Your conscience would tell you that this is not what you actually are.
Of course.
Can you narrate us one interesting episode and how did you actually combat it?
Pran Saab was probably the best soul human being who has ever been in film industry. But he played the worst roles in his films. I'm telling you, you can find out, in a certain time zone, people did not name their sons Pran because of that reason. So that answers my question to you. One incident.
He made VAT 69 whiskey infamous.
No, jo bhi hai, Pran Sahab, the word Pran. No one used the word. But Pran means life. And he was always taking away the Pran. So that just tells you, we actors have to enact various type of roles in films. Like I have to enact the simplest, loveliest, And I'm such a brat otherwise in life. I'm opposite to what I do sometimes in films. I remember I was doing an emotional film with a director and मुझे ग्लिसरीन लगा के रोना था. And मेरे साथ में कुछ भाई खड़े हुए थे. सतीश शाह था, गुलशन ग्रोवर था और एक दो छोटे बच्चे थे. And some melodramatic nonsense, you know. So I'll just tell you, and we have flowers in our hand and our sister की बधाई क्या विदाई हो रही है और हम बोल रहे हैं कि बहन तू ये, you know, some dramatic, over dramatic. I can't remember the lines. Something, you know, so that cut. Yeah, पकड़. I told the kid. So मेरा Gulshan Grover tells me, यार you're such an arrogant man. अभी रो रहा था, बेवकूफ बना था. अब चलो told the kid, yeah, पकड़ pull. I was pulling him. So this is what cinema is all about. पल में कुछ और, पल में कुछ और.
Sadhvi.
I'm Sadhvi Khosla. Huge respect for all. What I want to ask you is what I was a little nervous about, but what is the role of Nargis in your life?
I thought you were asking me, very little nervous to ask me if you want to date me.
I also wanted to say that I found you really cute in Mera Naam Joker, but then you were quite young that
See,
time.
कल्पना होती है एक director की. Sometimes you fall in love with your painting, sometimes you fall in love with your sculpture. He was a filmmaker, and he created things, and if he fell in love with whatever he was doing, there's nothing wrong, and this is something that we have respected and we have accepted also. So I don't see it that at any point we see it in a wrong way. It is a good relationship, fair enough. It happened. We children have gracefully accepted it. My mother gracefully accepted it. So why don't you accept it also?
Faiza Khan, she works for Bloomsbury.
It's true. I was trying to get your, autobiography, but I love you. First of all, I'd like to start with that. I'm a huge fan, and I'm currently in Delhi. I'm from Lahore, where we all love you.
Wow,
so
you're from Lahore.
yes, and there's just no end of admiration of you there. And I suppose I'd like to ask that, do you think that a film like Hina could be made today?
Bajrangi Bhaijaan is a offshoot of Hina. It's just like Hina. We made that in 1990. They made it here now. No, your question should have been that.
Thank you.
No, I'll tell you what. See, on a serious note, your question should be that we should all, not only India, even Pakistan, make films on friendship. प्यार मोहब्बत की फिल्में बननी चाहिए, दुश्मनी और क्या कहते हैं मार पिटाई की पिक्चरें नहीं बननी चाहिए. I do not cater to that. Like RK made a film on friendship, and we probably the first ones to do it. We were the first one to make a friendship on a film that was way back in 1988. There was a year my father passed away, and we took on in December making the film. It released in 1990 and was welcomed hugely even by the Pakistani audiences. In those days, they used to see films in Dubai, and then of course the video jata tha. But yes, I think films we should, like I said, we should build bridges, not walls. Between our countries, we should build bridges. That is what I see future. But there are some vested interests who do not want to do that. So हमें उनसे अलग होके ये काम करना जरूरी है.
I want to ask you a question. So you mentioned earlier in the conversation that you are now you do character roles. So your role in the remake of Agnipath, Rauf Lala, did it present its own challenge? Because Rauf Lala character in that was something that wasn't there in the original. So what is your take on being cast in a remake in a character that didn't exist?
Done? See, for me, I do not take references. I'm, not to sound pompous, I'm a very different type of an actor. I'm a spontaneous actor. I'm not a studied actor. I'm not a method actor. Though I have great respect for all kinds of schools of acting, but is that my way of doing things? I didn't have a reference point in the film because in the original there was no Rauf Lala. I must tell you two very interesting anecdotes. Firstly, when this film was offered to me, I refused to do it. And I said no to Karan Malhotra, who was the director, and Karan Johar, who was the producer. So they both came and pitched the film to me, and I said, are you crazy? ये पिक्चर मुझे लेके तुम विलन बना रहे हो, ये क्रेजी है, वो भी जो छोटी बच्चियों को बेचता है, हैवानों के आदमी, you mad, people, 2 शो नहीं चलेगी, पिक्चर पिट जाएगी तुम्हारी. And then I was somewhere very scared that the film would flop because of me. अरे ऋषि कपूर को wrong casting कर लिया आपने वो. But they wouldn't relent. They kept on asking me again and kept telling them. 1 महीने तक हमारी arguments चलती रही, नहीं हाँ. And because perhaps I thought I was very insecure as an actor, not to take up these challenges. I wanted to play safe. I don't want to do that. But then somehow or the other I said one day, okay, we'll do a look test. A look test is that you try and look the part and we take photographs and we'll see how it looks. We did that. What really worked in that look test was that call Kajal do tha na. वो Kajal जो लगाया ना, which was something else, that worked. So that gave me a little bit of confidence to take on the role. Then I said to them, okay, today the film is, today people do recognize me with that film. But मैं हर जगह ये कहता हूँ कि इस फिल्म का जो सक्सेस का जो सहरा है, ये सब करण जौहर और करण मल्होत्रा का है. Because I say, how did they ever envisage that I would look like a villain? वो तो ठीक है मैंने कर लिया. आपने कैसे सोचा कि ऋषि कपूर को दे वो साला he'll play that kind of a pimp? I said, from which angle do I look like a pimp to you? Yeah. I said, how did you think of me as a pimp? साला को गाने गाता हूँ तुम्हारी बच्ची में रोमांस करता हूँ. You thought of me doing that with little girls? So it's to their credit who did that. Then I'm reminded of another incident.
Sure.
You said you're getting pressed for time. I did this film called Kapoor and Sons, and I took this as a challenge because I wanted to do it. I wanted to play. But I said to the producer again, Karan Johar, I said to him, I'll do this part only if you get this makeup man to do me up. He said, sure, we'll do it. Then of course it was not a huge budget film; it was a small budget film. But then too, they bought that makeup man from Los Angeles. That gentleman was a 3 times Oscar winner, Greg Canham. So he came on the sets and we dressed up. I used to take 5.5 hours to get ready every day. I've done the film, probably I must have worked for 24, 25 days or whenever, how many ever days. But 5.5 घंटा लगता था. Mind you, I'm a drinking man. I drank every evening, went to sleep, got up at 5 in the morning. On the chair at 6, sets पे 12 बजे आता था. 12 बजे से लेके 8 बजे तक, 7 बजे तक, डिपेंडिंग. और ऐसा कोई दिन नहीं है, वो 24-25 दिन में, जब मैंने अपने डायरेक्टर से झगड़ा नहीं किया. Every day we fought tooth and nail. And our fights were never about creatives. Our fight was only about execution of the shot. And see, like I said, I'm a different school actor. Maybe I'm a misfit in today's times. Maybe I'm not, I'm not well versed with today's times. Because I'm a spontaneous actor, I cannot recreate that same magic, that same emotion from every side. Today, we don't have films. In the sense, we don't have film. We have digital. So there is no cost of film anymore. So people keep shooting, screwing the happiness of all us actors. हम तो गधे हैं ना, सारे कब दे रहो, अभी फिल्म तो है ही नहीं, तो डिजिटल में शूटिंग करते रहो. फिर अब का एडिट में क्योंकि फिल्म नहीं है, तो it's become digital. So they have digital patterned avid films. So on a press of a button, you can see the shot from here. On the press of you see this from here. Anyway, you dot ding 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 ding. So they expect us to do the scene from the whole 360 degrees, north, south, west, east, northeast, west, south, north, east, हर जगह से वो पूरा सीन लेते हैं. तो इसमें रगड़ाई तो हमारी होती है ना. तो I used to keep saying, you tell me which is the main shot, कौन सा shot मेरा जो ये है वो कब आएगा? ये मुझे नहीं मालूम. ऐसे कमाल है यार, नहीं मालूम, तुम बच्चों को मालूम नहीं. तो मेरा झगड़ा इस बात पे होता था. But then after I saw the film, I said, yeah, you were right, I was wrong. We both sort of compromised, we came to terms. And then it's just a matter of, knowing, कहने का मतलब है कि ये, these are the halat and this is how you do films. Nobody knows the stories behind the scenes, but this is the fact of the matter.
Rishi, the fact is we can go on and on, but yes. I wish this was like one of your father's movies with 2 intervals.
No, but that he made that into a Mera Naam Joker. We don't want to make a Mera Naam Joker.
So thanks a lot, Rishi. I think this is part 1. Now we'll take a second interval and come for part 2 later. Not today. Don't worry. And our viewers also. I'm sure you've had a wonderful time. On Popular Demand, we'll get Rishi back with us. We can't have 2 interval movies anymore. That's a pity. So come back for another edition of Off the Cuff with another wonderful guest next month.
Thank you all, ladies and gentlemen.